Hello, my name is Mark Stewart. I'm a trustee with the Twin Lights Historical Society, and we're at the Twin Lights National Landmark in Highlands, New Jersey, one of the highest points on the eastern seaboard with a beautiful view of New York, which I can see and you can't, but you can see the lighthouse over my shoulder. It's the only connected lighthouse in the United States. It was constructed in 1862, and at one time it had the brightest light in America behind one of the most powerful lenses ever made. We just concluded the Seen Stars exhibit, which brought in $2 million worth of historic flags and patriotic artifacts. And the exhibit celebrated the first Pledge of Allegiance ceremony that celebrated the pledge as our national oath of loyalty. That took place here on April 25th, 1893, and it's one of the seminal moments in American and New Jersey history. This lighthouse was constructed in 1862 and actually replaced a pair of lighthouses which were not connected, which were built in 1828. The first Fresnel lens in America, and that is essentially where the science of optics in this country started, was installed here in the 1840s, and in the 1893 World's Fair at the French exhibit, they brought in an enormous Fresnel lens which they were going to take back to France, but the government talked into keeping here, and it ended up in the South Tower, which is over my right shoulder, and at the time, with an arc lamp behind it, had a candle power of 25 million, which made it the brightest light in the United States. A couple of years ago, when we started the Seen Stars exhibit, the state started to pay quite a bit of attention to what we were doing here, and DEP Commissioner Bob Martin held a staff meeting here and toured the grounds and noticed that all of the exterior lighting we had was attached to the side of the lighthouse and faced straight down. He made the observation that a historic structure like this, the unique fortress architecture we have, really would benefit from being uplit. So that began a chain of events which led to the installation of a wonderful lighting system, and that'll be on every night after sunset. And once a month, I think in conjunction with the full moon or close to it, we will extend our hours from 4 o'clock, which is the normal closing time, to 8 p.m. We get about 70 to 75,000 people a year visiting the Twin Lights. They come to climb the tower, obviously, but they also come to walk on what we think of as hallowed ground. We talk about 5 famous firsts here, and certainly lovers of history like to experience all of those things. We have the original life-saving station that had been out on Sandy Hook in the 1840s, which miraculously survived. That's one of our firsts. Another first is the fact that the Twin Lights was the location of the first Fresnel lens in America. This started the science of optics. So if you're using a computer or anything else that involves fiber optics, this was ground zero for all that stuff. The Pledge of Allegiance was given here for the first time in 1893 as our national oath of loyalty. That's another one of our 5 famous firsts. Another first is the wireless broadcast that Marconi made here in 1899. It was the first commercial wireless broadcast in history, and essentially was a proof of concept that led to everything, including cell phones and many, many other wireless devices we use today. And the 5th famous first is in 1935, right on this spot, right where you're standing with your camera, they introduced radar for the first time in the United States, and they called it the Mystery Ray. And it was a very big deal, obviously, and helped us win the war. There are wonderful stories on each of those things here, and we invite people to come and experience those and ask our volunteers for more information. They're very well versed in all the facts and figures, and it's just a wonderful place.